Hello, Ruby.
Hi.
What are we doing here?
We are filming another episode of Real Crafty. Crafty ways and stuff to do with our treats and other stuff that you might find helpful when you have a dog to feed. Did I get that right?
We're just gonna move on. This is like, what, episode 5?
I mean,
You would
who's
think
counting?
this is episode 5.
Today, I'm going to show you guys how to make slippery elm. Have you heard of that before?
No, other than that, you told me you were gonna do slippery elm, but I don't really have a context of what that is.
Slippery elm bark powder is something that we recommend keeping on hand as often as possible in case you need to treat an upset tummy. I use slippery elm bark powder whenever I introduce a new food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what in with good. So tell us about what are we doing first?
It's super easy to make and people don't believe me, but literally it's like 3 things. Actually, it's 2. It's water and slippery elm powder.
Okay.
So,
and we have a nice
I know.
hot plate here.
Yeah, we do.
We're upgrading.
Yeah,
Real
we
crafty.
are. I know, right?
Wow. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start with 1 cup of water. Dosage is for a dog that's about 50 pounds, you wanna do 2 tablespoons. For a dog that's over, you're doing about half a cup. So you're never really at once gonna make more than a cup, feed more than a cup, unless you have more than 1 dog. This is not something that stays, right? Like if you only use a little bit of it, you can hold it in the fridge for a couple of days, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, woo!
Okay. It's nice and warm.
It's nice and warm in there.
Okay.
Just 1 cup of water to about 1 rounded teaspoon or a tablespoon of slippery elm. This is my tablespoon.
Okay.
It's probably a little much. Throw that in there.
And you don't have to wait until it's boiling, or?
No, you don't. It's actually better if you mix it in while the water is a little bit cold or tempered.
Okay.
And so we're just gonna give that a little swirl. The slippery elm comes from the inner bark of a tree, which means that the texture is kind of stringy. And when it's in powder form, or even like this, dogs don't really like the taste. It's very, very bland. It's like the natural Pepto. It's about to come to a boil, and I'm going to switch this off. Actually, I'm not.
okay.
You are, because I don't know how to do that.
Switch it off, right?
Yeah, and so you can see just within minutes it's starting to thick up.
Wow.
I don't even think that was a whole minute.
No.
But it's warm here, so we'll let that just simmer for a bit while we're talking. The idea is it's like it has a mucousy texture, and that's what lines the stomach. It's an anti-inflammatory. So if a dog has diarrhea or some kind of colitis, that's because there's inflammation in their intestines, and it's causing them to have liquidy stool. It also has some cancer-fighting properties.
Ooh.
So I feed it to Turk when he's not looking, because he also doesn't like the taste.
And he also has diarrhea.
All the time.
Yeah. And then you
Because
mix
he's
this.
lactose intolerant.
Oh.
Did I do that the wrong way?
Yeah.
Is that what
You
it
did it
is?
right at him. Yeah. It's because he's lactose intolerant, if you didn't know.
The
And
whole
now-
world knows now.
What does that mean? Now you mix it with food. No, whatever new kind of food you were saying.
Yeah.
You would mix it with.
So you can either feed it before, during, or after. So that's like the mucousy coating.
Whoa.
Almost looks like cornstarch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like cornstarch with water when you make a gravy. Yeah. You can feed it in powder form. You can also get it in capsules. They sell it online on capsules. This is my choice of feeding. You want to wait till it cools down, of course. And like I said, you can feed it right before, after,
And then
or even
this?
during. But the way I get Icon to eat it is
Yeah.
by sprinkling some treats on top of it. I will also add that while we're talking about using this as a preventative measure or to treat,
Preventative.
preventative. For dogs with IBD,
Okay.
this is something that can be fed on a normal basis every day
Well, okay.
to help with that inflammation. So all I'll do is like sprinkle some of these on top. One other tip, if I might add,
Please add.
is mixing it in with bone broth.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
using water as your base, you can
Do
use
that.
bone broth. So
Lovely.
There's a nice flavor to it.
Heat it up. Same thing.
Same.
Heat. Nice.
Same.
Lovely.
Should
I
I
don't
just
even-
make slippery elm and just like bring it to all the dogs?
I feel like you'd be like the Mother Teresa of slippery elm.
For all you new members, or even the current members who have asked me about Sabri Elm, and you made this at home before, or you want to give it a shot, you now see how simple it is. It took like 2 ingredients. Please send us your video. Shut up, Sam.
We're having some difficulties today. Not technical.
Send us your video, #RealCrafty. We would love to see how easy it is for you to make it.
Jeannie, sit. Good boy.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Now your intestines are aligned also. Lovely. Well, thank you so much, Ruby.
Thank you.
Real Crafty, hashtag. Wait, hashtag Real
show
Crafty.
us.
I don't know how Instagram works.
#BeReal.
Bam!
#RealCrafty.
Where are we?